Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. This morning on ITV, Sunday edition, the one that starts off the week's edition of This Morning on ITV. Well, on this discussion segment, we'll be taking a look at what is really happening in Edo State. Then after that, subsequently, we'll take a look at what has happened in Bayelsa. Why some are jubilating, many are just gnashing their teeth. How did it happen? Speak of judgment. Anyway, my analysts will talk about that after this one. Yeah, Edo 2020 political situation in view. Many things been going on. You get to hear about sporadic shooting. You get to hear about improvised explosive devices, or the layman may call it bomb. Yeah. On 2 occasions right now in those state of experience that, and many political watchers are really troubled about it. Who are the ones behind this? Who are the ones responsible? Is it going to be part of the norm, or something should be done to nip this in the bud? Or will those citizens experience more of that or those heinous acts as the primaries closes by, or when the main election will start off? Many people are really worried, many are concerned. Why just a few are just indifferent about it? But believe you me, if where you are is not peaceful, whether you feel indifferent about it or not, it's going to have a resonating effect on you directly or indirectly. Always remember that. With me here in the studio to throw more light on this, I'm going to start my introduction from my extreme left. I'd like you to join me. Welcome a legal practitioner, international law, with a political analyst, Barrister Patrick Isekwenu. Barrister Patrick, welcome to the show. I appreciate your coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, so very close to Barrister Patrick is another Patrick, and he's a legal practitioner. Barrister Patrick Awo Osage, both local and international politics, they are all well grounded. Welcome to the show, Barrister.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Hello, viewers.
So very close to me, or the closest to me right now, is another legal practitioner. Can you imagine that? It's like the anointing of legal law will follow me very soon. I'll go and study law. Join me to welcome Barrister Robinson Imade. I really appreciate your comment.
Thank you very much.
Political analysts, both local and international politics, they are all well grounded. But this time around, we want to zoom in into Edo State, because whatever is going to happen, whatever it's happening, whenever, however it's just to come up, we are all concerned, we are all involved. Barrister Robinson Imade, how do you feel about the political situation in Edo State right now, putting in view the improvised explosive devices that was detonated into political bigwigs' house? I get to hear about sporadic shooting where one of them escaped by whiskers, according to reports.
Well, it's interesting, I must say. It's not the first time we are hearing of improvised explosive devices in our polity in Edo State. The first time I recall was when Pastor Zeyamo cried out that his wife's hospital or clinic was attacked. And he came out without mincing words to say that he was holding the then governor, Adams Oshomole, responsible. This time around, we've seen 1, 2, 3, or even more of such cases. The good thing about it is that in spite of the devastating effects, as we have seen on television, nobody has been hurt. It's either that they were accidentally on purpose, or that God is seriously and strongly with Edo State. Imagine throwing a bomb into a house at 12 a.m. and nobody is hurt. Is it that the attackers were able to see the areas where people were not sleeping, or that God moved it to away from the people? Because they said the mother, the children, the persons, and others were in the house. But be that as it may, it is disheartening, especially when we think that Edo State has been in the political news on the bad side for some time now. The good thing again is that all those involved belong to one political party, a segment of a political party, a faction of a political party. And that party, not either of the factions, have accused the opposition party. So that makes it good. It means that they are saying and they know that they are at war with themselves. But how that translates to the a good image of Edo State is worrisome. I want to believe that what is happening is condemnable, and everybody of goodwill should condemn it. APC should put his house in order. The factions must find a way of coming together, because like was said by, what's his name now? He said that we learn to live together as brothers or we perish together as fools. If APC does not learn to live together as brothers in Edo State, I see the party perishing together as fools.
All right.
But that is not to say that the situation is healthy, it's very unhealthy, it's very condemnable, it's bringing shame to us as a people that are so neatly tied together by custom, by culture, by tradition. And in Edo State, we have been living together as brothers.
All right, we'll come back to you, Barrister Robinson Imade. Now, Barrister Patrick Awo Osaigi has spoken at length. He talked about divine intervention. Maybe that is the reason why no death has been recorded. After all, 12 a.m. at Niger through an explosive, improvised explosive devices in, come on, a place where people are sleeping. Take it up from there.
Thank you very much. Like he had rightly stated, we can't rule out divine interventions from things like this, even if we want to make a joke out of it. But that is an act of God, to be very candid with you. But the challenge we have, I, for one, I'm not comfortable particularly, not because of what has happened per se. What is the law enforcement agent doing? The police, they talked about the anti-bomb squad and all whatnot. These gadgets or these detonatable substance, as it were, what is their findings? Who are those that have been linked to it? Because I believe we have security. We keep saying security is the general responsibility of everybody, which I beg to disagree at this level, because I don't have control of the arms and guns. I don't apprehend troublesome folks. I have a place to report. We have the police, we have the SS, we have all of them, all the enforcement agents, as it were, we have them to report to. So if things like this are happening now, what are they doing now? Why are they not making public, or we're just saying, well, they're on it, investigation is ongoing? I think I can see a whole lot of political undertone in all of this, and it's very, very bad. You see, you don't toy with the lives and the intelligence of our collective intelligence, and we know what is going on, in the sense that what you are seeing today is a party war, put it like that. It's an internal war within themselves. The APC, this faction, that faction. Who is right, who is wrong is not my business. That's their personal business. I don't belong to their group, neither do I intend to. And then the position is that the Edo indigents, we are more in number than the APC and the PDP. So we must understand that fact, that I belong to Edo State. So I have rights over my state. So if some folks have come together and said, well, we are trying to struggle over, that's fine. But you must do it not to get to the other end of trying to constitute nuisance by killing or threatening people's lives. If the governor, you want to change the governor, Godwin Obaseki, he contested the election, and he won election, and he was sworn in as governor. And if anybody wants to change that narrative, you have the right. I can decide to run for governor. Nobody will say, why are you running for governor? I can decide. My brother Patrick Sekwena, who's so actively involved too, can decide to run, and I will join him. Our senior colleague and daddy here can also decide to run for governor. There is no law that says you can't contest. But the point we are saying, don't endanger the lives of Edo people. And that is where we would not want to, agree with that.
Right.
If you look at what, again, we know generally there's insecurity in the country. Edo, as it stands, have been kind of peaceful We cannot, with this where, remember the Warri, Joy Shekiri crisis of those days, they ran to Benin, and this was the place they came to.
For refuge.
For refuge, because, so if Benin is now beginning to, people all over the world that are throwing bombs in Benin, what's happening in Benin? People keep saying that Benin is where we come to by weekend to just relax, and then afterwards we go back to work. So you are beginning to, we should look at that aspect. Economically, you are affecting our businesses. So we don't want to have a hostile state.
Okay.
Yes, we don't want to have that.
All right,
Thank you.
Barrister Patrick Isekwano, you've heard your namesake. Yeah, he spoke at length saying, yes, that is really about intervention, but Edo State has been known for this. And now, though you are a legal practitioner, some of the opinion that you have the sympathy for political party, I wouldn't want to go into that right now. How do you really view this from that perspective?
Yeah, well, I call it abracadabra. What is happening?
Abracadabra.
Yes, I call it abracadabra. No other party has been named as probably the one, the other PDP, SBS, DP, AAC. It's just AAC, but the factions have been named.
APC or
APC,
okay.
APC.
All right.
Have been named all over this incident. Have been named all over the incident. So what I'm trying to say is that what is happening now is, I think I will see more to it. It's not going to happen because of we don't have ID situation. Yes, that is why we're supposed to allow things go the way it's supposed to go, not the other way around. This is what we're suffering for. That's what, this is what we're going to suffer for. That's what's happening today, because we don't have the ID situation. What I mean is this. With what has been happening in the state for almost more than a year now, and the latest is enough for APC to lose this election. But that is my ID situation.
It's enough for them to lose the
election. Yes, that is my ID situation. Other party might be people might let us try other parties because we can tire of these people fighting themselves. But it's not possible. You know you have ID situation in this country. That's why they don't give a damn.
Watch your language now, Barrister.
They don't care what happens in this crisis.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, they must all have their way. That's the truth of the matter. If not, all this Buhari would have heard it. Could have happened if they are scared of the opposition. So what I'm going to say is that nobody should, for me, my colleague told by police, actually it is a black police, yes, but actually the duty of the police, constitutional duty, issue of life and property. But myself here, I'm not blaming the police. Because this is a political matter involving the political party. Themselves, they know the truth. So don't blame the police are just looking at them. They don't want to involve in partisan. That's this kind of accusation from both sides.
You say the police are involved?
No! I said they don't involve in partisan politics.
Okay, they don't involve.
Yes,
okay,
it's a political action.
Okay,
no,
all right.
They don't know the truth. So, no, how many will they investigate before you finish one? They don't finish. You should not finish. They have a number around their kidnapping issues. So many. The other one will happen again. They don't finish, but the other one will happen again. So they have other serious issues to face that this very one. That's the truth of the matter.
All right.
So they know who is doing it. That's why.
Are you sure they know who is doing it?
The opposition,
yeah,
and other within the party, whether UPM or whatever you come on, political faction, they know the truth. What this man said. That is why it has one form of style. If you watch it, no lives have been taken. It's just to threaten the opposition, so they are threatening you. That's what they are doing. Don't throw the bomb in your frontage or your
mistakenly somebody could get killed.
No, but never, you can see, I never had anybody killed. No, for the 4, 5,
even at night.
So, yes, they don't throw it there. They just run away. It's just to intimidate. That's what they are doing. So, but they are not taking them serious.
It's okay.
That's just the truth of the matter. You see what to this.
All right.
I'll
come back to you, Barrister Patrick. Now, for when he said the police are not taking them serious because of so much work to be done, and he also said that the police, they are aware, but I keep on wondering if they are aware of going out to pick on these people. Anyway, you're not the mouthpiece of the police, so that is your opinion. Now, let me come to you, Barrister Robinson. When he said the police are like, they know who the culprits are, that they have so much case to unravel, you're like shaking your head in disagreement. Could you please give thought to your expression when you mentioned security outfit in Edo State?
Well, the truth of the matter is that issues of improvised explosive device are not what the police should take lightly. If they actually know those behind it, all we know now from the accusations and counter-accusations is that it is done by APC members or their cohorts. If the police knows the exact people, they'll break them out. Let us not think that throwing explosives is like throwing bangers. The truth is, apart from the fact that properties are destroyed, which could be, like I said earlier, accidentally on purpose, which means that they would have planned it themselves, the effect alone on the environment is enough for the police to take the issue seriously. Even if you throw a banger, the effects will wake somebody in the next compound up. We're talking about bombs here. And so it may be trivializing the issue, saying that the police do not want to go into political or partisanship, political matters. It is far beyond that. If they are playing politics and they are fighting, such as we have seen even in our EDO State House of Assembly, during the regime of Comrade Adams Oshomole, okay, it's them. But when you begin to throw explosives, it becomes something very serious that threatens the security of the state. And so I want to believe that the police and other security agencies are working to unravel these very heinous crimes. Otherwise, to say that they know they don't want to be involved is to say that the police themselves are partisan. If they know those behind it, and because of political considerations, they refuse to bring them to book, that is the core of partisanship. But I don't think they are partisan in this matter. I want to believe they are still working. And the police owe Edo State and Nigeria a duty to let us know this spate of bombing, where it is coming from, how it's happening, and why it is happening. The why may be easy to know. Because those that are victims, in quotes, no injuries, no loss of lives, even when it happens in the day and in the night, you see bomb thrown into houses. We deserve to know what the matter is and why. Like he said, like my learned friend Patrick said, it is enough in a sane society for people to revolt against the APC, for threatening the lives and security of the people. If you throw it at this house, it causes plenty of damage or damages in this house. The next house is affected. The other many houses around are affected. The people walking on the streets or about the places are affected. Suppose there are people near those houses who are hypertensive, who have high blood pressures. It's enough to kill them.
Oh, yes. True.
And because the effect of the bomb is not directly on them, we may think that they died of hypertension. What triggered it? You know, the truth of the matter is that what is happening here is serious, and those state people should know who their friends are amongst the political parties. I'm not campaigning. I'm not in politics. I will not be, not the way it is practiced here in Nigeria today. But we should know that a political group is taking us for granted, insulting our sensibilities and making no sense of our integrity as a people. You go outside the state, they ask you, oh, Edo State, what's happening in your state? How am I to answer such questions when I don't even know what is happening, other than politics taking to a level that is not supposed to be?
Right.
So I believe that the police are doing their job. They must do their job. They must tell Edo people what is happening just now. Otherwise, there will be no need for the police force or even other security agencies in the state. What is happening now calls for serious investigation, and the report must be made public as soon as possible.
All right, report must be made public as soon as possible. Now, it started with the sporadic shootings in the office of one APC chieftain, talking about Henry Dagbo, and from there moved over also to yet another APC chieftain in Nebineki. Then the last one is Okar, as in a combination of three political APC chieftains, and they belong to a particular faction, so to speak, of the APC. What does this scenario, what message is it really given out to the citizens of Edo State?
Thank you very much. You see, like I said, our collective intelligence cannot be insulted. The names you just mentioned, do you know who they are in this town? Do you know who Henry Idahagmo is in Egbeneki? You go and be shooting guns around his house or his office or anywhere, and you get away with it. Come on, let's think well. These are men with security personnel around them. So for me, like I said, the police, the security agency should tell us what is happening. We cannot be talking like, how you just say Henry Idahagmo and then you are shooting around his house. No, just the thought of it alone should scare you. I'm talking of the caliber of names you just mentioned. Yeah. They are not mean men. They are men of substance, if you permit me. They are men of means. So they don't just move and then anybody just comes shooting around like you are playing around. Even if you go, I remember those days when we were kids, there are some fences you don't touch. You don't just touch the fence, let alone you go there and start ranting. You won't see anybody, but things will happen to you. But you should understand what we're talking about. There are some homes that armed robbers have not invaded in this town. There are some persons that have not been kidnapped in this town. So you should understand what we are saying. Beside the fact that this is politics, so I believe there are some things we should say. There are things you just talk about, we just laughed. You know, we talked about the bomb a while ago, we just laughing. People sleeping at night and nobody was hospitalized, nobody got into a shock. I remember my encounter with the Fulani herdsmen. Those I even told, were scared. They were not with me, mentioning it to them. Hey, they were so scared. So what I'm trying to say is that what we are saying, it doesn't add up. Nobody takes us seriously in that at all. But the security agencies, the police, like we always call them, the Inspector General of Police, the Commissioner of Police, the military, all of them should come together and tell Edo people what is happening. If I'm saddled with that responsibility, I will gladly tell you what is happening. But really, I don't know. That's why we have them. You don't know? I don't know. If I'm the police commissioner today, I should be able to tell Edo people what is happening. Yes, I should know what is happening. I should call Mr. Henry Idahagmo and say, what's happening around your house? I should go and meet Chief Francis Egbeneki, and say, sir, with all respect, what is happening here? What is it? Well, I don't know. Okay, we get investigation. Where are your boys? Where are the people around here? Let's start there and question them. You can't tell me that his security dictates that none of them saw anybody coming around. No footages in homes like that. Come off it. Come off it. All right, no footages in homes like that is like trying to fathom things, to reconstruct his thoughts around that particular scenario. Now, in course of interviews and in course of a refuter by some faction of political party, how would you call the OSM, and of course the EPM and the rest of them trading blames. You get to hear the Commissioner also of Information saying that it has nothing to do with his boss. All right, you get to hear a chieftain of the APC saying it came from the camp of the OSM and all that. But some persons are of the opinion that this may just be the handiwork of someone that is cashing in on the situation to destabilize the party. What's your angle on this?
Well, the truth of the matter is that nobody is cashing on it to stabilize the party. I disagree with you. You see, the party, the also of them, both the two factions, they know who are responsible for these things. That's your own assumption, because that's why you can never get the truth.
Are you saying they know?
Yes, they know.
How do you know they
are involved in all this war? See, that's why I don't even blame the Commissioner of Police. If this, the CP will work with what he gets. If what you give to him, not by blaming and blame after you bomb.
He's there to investigate. Yes, just get what he gets.
Get after bombing.
It's a
you make that statement. After bombing, it is the faction that know the truth. They know. They are to tell us. Not because any action of the CP, they say, oh, it's that particular faction. So it's try to be careful. It's a political matter. When you're investigating political matter, you must be careful. It's not a matter, it's political. Because this way you are talking about, they can do and undo. Now, for instance, now, let me give an instance now. If, let me say now, EPM, is indicted to. Some of their men, their boys. This are to be involved in this action. The national chairman is there to protect them. Listen, no, it's in power, it's in government, it's national chairman of the APCN. It's in charge.
I disagree.
No, I'm telling you, if it's OSL Basaki faction, the government is just sort of officer of the state. Are you not aware?
I'm aware.
And it has immunity. If it's in that amount,
take laws into their hands.
They will not want to. It's not as easy as this.
So you are saying that each boss will protect their own. Is that what you're saying right now?
No, what I'm saying is that they should come and solve the governor, they should meet and solve this problem. Leave the police out of it.
Police can never be left out of it.
Let me tell you, police investigating. No. My brother, a drastic treatment. There's a use wisdom, not power.
Wisdom in life.
Yes, these are the Buccaneers. They continue doing it.
That is not enshrined in the Constitution.
They continue doing it, and the police to investigate. More we come, more we hear that one. How many will they investigate? But if they are honest with themselves, ready to solve this problem within themselves, you will never say anything about it. The thing will go off. You don't need the control of police. Everywhere will go off. But without them coming with the truth, both parties, still people keep on investigating. More will come. Investigating. Is that the issue? One result. The result is that they should settle the matter.
Where is intelligence?
It's like when you have some court war. Yes, what I mean. Like when you have some court war. Let me give an instance. For instance, I was former CJ. Retired as then was. I'm sorry, University at Poma. I was the CJ of the Supreme Court. Then there are times you have court. You see, court they exist. They're not spirit. There are times court authority has to go and talk to these people.
And you call them to
we
order.
call them to order.
Absolutely. I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Call them to order.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the truth. So if one is problem to be solved, Obaseki and the national chairman should be appealed to. That's my take. What commissioner of police?
To make the police be taken out of the equation.
Yes. So
these two should come
this
together.
will disappear. This will disappear.
All right, now let me go to the international scene before I bring it down to local. When there was war in Libya after the elimination, so to speak, of late Colonel Gaddafi, there were disruptions here and there. ISIS came into the picture. All right. Now let me bring it down again to Nigeria. Let's go to the north. When there was political turbulence and disturbance, Boko Haram started as a mere pressure group in support of a particular government or governor, and today is like a hydra that is getting so difficult to contain. And now here in Edo State, 3 cases of improvised explosive devices. You can call it bomb if you want to call it bomb. Do you see it assuming these dimensions I talked about?
Well, they say when an order of a society becomes a norm, people will practice. A society gets what it deserves or what it desires. I don't agree at all that the place can be taken out of this. It may be orchestrated by a political party, but it's not within their means and powers to be able to resolve this. Even if they resolve it, the police should still let us know what happened. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is above the law.
Absolutely.
The only person who has immunity today in Edo State is the governor
And his deputy.
Adams Oshomole, the national chairman of the APC, does not have immunity.
Absolutely.
If he has a hand in this matter, he should be arrested and tried.
Obviously.
If anybody, he himself, that my colleague says will protect or defend his boys, cannot defend himself in this matter.
Oh yes, oh yes.
We are talking about explosives. Nobody is supposed to be able to have that.
Okay, that is if he is involved.
I said if he, I used the word if, and I stressed the word if.
All right.
It's a conditional term. If he's involved, he will be arrested and prosecuted and sent to jail. So if he can be prosecuted, how will he be able to defend his people if they are the ones doing it?
But according to report, the persons attacked belong to his own group, so to speak, right now.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from report. So can he attack his own group?
Yes, he can. I started by saying that the whole idea of bombing is suspicious.
Okay.
That it happened in the day and in the night, no injury recorded. No casualty apart from properties that we know one person will have over 70 in today's Nigeria. All right?
Okay.
And they come out and say, oh, so many people were in the house. No issue of shock. Were they prepared in advance to expect such an attack? Or were the attackers know where they'll be staying? We don't want to kill anybody, we don't want to injure anybody. Did they know that if it is thrown into a house, one wall will not fall on the other and affect the others? We were shown that one dug a hole in the house.
Yeah.
It could have been on the wall. So the point is, we cannot exempt anybody. It could be the Oshomole side, it could also be the Obaseki side. But in all of this, it is not within their powers anymore to resolve. It is now the law enforcement agencies who should resolve it. Going to your question, will this have a multiple effect? Yeah. Of course, yes. I don't expect that if, and underline the word if a Oshomole group are responsible for this, and Oshomole himself will go through the bomb, or the Agbon will go through the bomb. I don't also expect that if it's a Obaseki group, that Obaseki himself will go through it. If I'm giving 4 to do and I'm a criminal, I can throw 2 and keep 2. In fact, I would have been shown how to do it. And by the time the elections come and is over, and as it happens always, not remembered anymore,
broke and hungry,
I know that I already have a skill how to throw bombs. So there is no way that this will not have an after effect. There's no way to not have an after effect. The truth of the matter is that the APC itself is saying we are the one on this mission of self-destruction. Whether it is the OSM or the EPM, it's APC. And so we are looking at a political party embarking on a mission of self-destruction and polluting the security of lives and property in the state. And somebody is saying, or will say, that it's their matter, let them reconcile. Even if they become husband and wife tomorrow, the EPM and the OSM, the law enforcement agencies owe Edo State, and in fact Nigeria, in fact Africa, a duty to let us know what is happening today and why it is happening. And those behind it, if they don't do that, if I were the commissioner of police and I'm not able to do it, or for fear of political consideration, I cannot do it, so I'll resign. And if they are not able to find out, to tell the people, the public, exactly what's happening today, I will call on the Inspector Police to resign. It's not a simple matter. It's a very serious matter, and a matter that cannot be swept under the carpet. Whether the APC is at the national level, state level, local government level, whether it is the only political party in the country or not, there are all people like myself who do not belong to the political party, who do not belong to any political party, and I deserve my peace.
Okay, we all deserve our peace. And still talking about the domino effects or the aftermath of these bomb blasts, it should be a record that those states should be the first South states to start using this type of skills or method to, make a point, politically speaking. And a friend of mine says, whatever starts in the South, it may either come to stay or it will take a very long time to stop. Is that where we're heading to, Barrister Patrick?
Thank you very much. You see, things like this, we trivialize a lot of serious issues. That's why I kept on saying they should call on the law enforcement. They are not answerable to anybody, so to speak. Constitutionally, they have their place and they have their duty. They're spelled out in black and white. So if you don't have the courage to do the needful, like Oga had said, resign and go home. And at least we know you did your bits. So for you to come with whatever oath of office you have sworn to be fair in all you do and all whatnot, and you come out and things like this. Now, we're looking at monies expended, getting this stuff, this improvisative device, as it were, explosive devices, as it were. It's so much money. I know it's not sold at urban market. Yeah. Probably every local trader would have had some in the house. So it's something that is what costs some money. So in other words, people involved will be financially buoyant. They could throw bombs around. You know, they have the wherewithal to do it. If, like, we know the way the society is. We don't have social security in this country, and everybody's just living and trying to get by. And you have trained someone in that, so to speak, lucrative job.
Lucrative.
Yes, it's lucrative. Because for you to go there and throw that explosive, you would have been paid. Yes. And he considered what that monetary, compensation was at the time. And he's not skilled. He's not certified to be throwing bombs. You know what is going to happen. If the police don't nip it on the board, the aftermath effect will be disastrous. That's the truth. You see, the Boko Haram we talk about today didn't just start like this. I read the nonsense the leader was saying over the social media, how he was going to deal with a particular
Minister of Information.
And all whatnot. The big question is, why? You see, they are in intelligence, which I have a little understanding of. Why is that coming now? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Why now? Now that the international community is on the government, and the leader of that set is coming up to say what he's saying. Why now? That is going to deal with him, that Buhari was Bo and all of those stuff. You see, is it for information minister to be pouring out information? I remember in Baghdad then, when Obama, they lost 4 of their citizens, and Americans came after him and said, why? He said they poured out the information the way it came in, and he was attacked for that. These are things you don't joke with. If you want to cut them off from, you don't need to debate it. When you are talking of intelligence and security, there are things that are done behind. It's not what's the public domain that you just speak and just start reading. So how did they get to know? Who sold that information to them? Where was it discussed? And who have been arrested for that information that was leaked? So if we don't have intelligence in our circle, then we don't know what we are doing, with all respect to whoever sits in the said offices. So these are the things we are talking about. They grew and they have become, I don't see the Boko Haram as very intelligent people. I don't see them as very smart in terms of having encountered some of those headsmen, and I saw, with their guns, I drove into them. Because I know you are holding your gun. I'm not a coward. I wasn't raised a coward. We are law-abiding people. We are not fearful people. I drove into him because you and your car, before you shoot me, I know my car is big enough to grind you and your gun. And they ran away. So the point I'm making is, if we come together, if the police fail to address this issue, it will harden their heart. It will make them feel they are lords. I remember when those small boys in town were bringing out guns to be shooting themselves over little or nothing, because nobody addressed it. My uncle talked about way back in school, how talks like that were, yes, those people you say, shield your sword, relax. They shielded it for a while. And when need arises, they will bring the sword again. And we recorded a lot of deaths in Ambrosali University. Incidentally, it was my school too. We have a lot of people that died. So what I'm saying in essence is, it is a bad omen for the police, for the law enforcement, all of them, all the service chiefs together. They should look into this. It can't happen anywhere. Okay, a basketballer in America died, crashed, Kobe Bryant and his daughter. You could see how they were investigating. In short, to date, they are still doling out information, telling us what happened. I mean, just an helicopter crash that we just say maybe it's an accident. Do you get such stuff from the Ochibando helicopter crash? We just said there is an act of God. God delivered him. Enemy wanted to kill him. And that is all we got.
That's divinity.
Divine, we are so divine conscious and earthly senseless. I'm sorry, with all respect. I believe we should begin to do the needful. If we don't have the young men that are not working, they are having money at hand, jumping from hotel to hotel, looking for young women everywhere. And you don't think that is a problem in society? When that money stops coming, what do you expect they will do? They are going to go into a lot of things. These are the issues. So we need to set standards.
Okay.
In as much as I'm not partisan, and I don't hope to be like my father here. I think he had mentored me enough. So I don't think we have learned to work to earn our living. So we are not demanding for so much. The little we have, we are contented. Life is all about contentment.
Okay.
I think that is where we should be, and I don't think we should belabor it. If you don't address it, it will snowball into a major disaster.
All right. Right now, there's this rumor making the rounds that we are on a security threshold, that everyone should be security conscious. Now, do you see these dastardly acts taking advantage of it? Talking about persons outside this political party. If time isn't taken enough to nip this in the bud.
No, I think I didn't answer to this issue.
No,
I said I don't think that's not happening.
If others were coming through,
yes,
for instance, the dreaded Boko Haram and the rest of them.
No.
After all, they're beginning to throw bomb here and there.
I can say that. I was going to say that this is a political problem. Yeah. They are the one involved in it. It has nothing to do with Boko Haram. And so, the only what I can say is that it will come to stay, because once something comes in Nigeria, it never goes back. Issue of Boko Haram, the first bombing, they meant where we are doing the October 1st, you know what happened? Yeah. The Boko Haram, just like a play, up to today, they are everywhere. So this one is political. Other people and other states will borrow leave, because they move all over. They are one. So you are come to stay. I can't come to stay.
Well, we don't pray for that.
No, we don't pray for that.
Don't pray for that.
That's why I said
that's why we call on the security agency to do the needful. If they can't do it, then they should resign. Allow those that can handle it.
It's not a way out.
Come on board.
It's not a way out. So like what that said, that if you give them 4 bombs, for instance, to they'll keep 2 for themselves. The some might be needed for that time, they can use it. That 2 bomb is going to eat it.
It's not, of course, for business.
So like I'm going to say, so that to the matter, but to pray, there is that the gladiators should look at this issue and resolve this problem.
All right.
Because it's a very bad omen, not only for Edo State, but Nigeria at large.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your wonderful analysis. It's all about Edo 2020 political situations in view. We spoke about the improvised explosive devices. Yeah, many of you call it bomb. Yeah, it is a minute bomb, but has this large effect. People like saying that, talk to your people. We was like, I'm not a politician, talk to them. That's how Borno State started. Don't forget Borno State. When they started kidnapping, little by little, it just spread, and now in Edo State, the most peaceful state in the South, experiencing this. Because I took a trip to Delta State, I was like, where are your state jacket? I said, we're not killing each other. I said, no, there's bomb here, but I said, there's no bomb. Because it has gotten to that. The pictures they are painting outside of Edo State, about Edo State, come on, is really not cool. Really not cool. Please, political activists, politicians, non-governmental organizations, you just name it, do something about this. If it starts now, it may not get to you today. We don't pray it goes beyond this. Please play politics constructively. All right? Up next is what transpired in Bayelsa that left many people mouth agape, while others were gnashing their teeth and others were busting, popping champagne. We'll be right back. Supreme Court judgment and see the exit of Lion and the introduction of Diri. Stay tuned.